Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Legends of Sport podcast. It's season 8. I'm your host, Andy Bernstein. Hey, we hope you all had a great summer. We spent our summer planning for season 8 and spent a couple of days at NBA Summer League in Las Vegas recording interviews, as we've done the past couple of years. So it's awesome to bring you episode 1 today from a conversation I had with NBA Summer League co-founder Albert Hall. I've known Albert for the 21 years he has run Summer League with fellow co-founder Warren LeGarie. You may remember we did an interview with Warren and my good friend Marnie Colbert at last year's Summer League. So much going on during Summer League that Albert and I touched on during this interview. How all 30 teams came together to become the official summer showcase for the recently drafted players and those trying to catch the attention of the coaches and scouts in attendance. The exciting NBA Summer League Film Festival, which is a really cool addition, plus their robust internship program and the Sports Business Classroom Initiative. Big thanks to Albert for stopping by our set for a chat. I know you will all enjoy this interview as much as I did, and as always, I'll see you on the backside. Well, what a thrill, man, to have the Vice President of NBA Summer League, Albert Hall, here. Did I say it correctly? I want to make sure.
I just go co-founder is really the easiest way.
We got to pay you.
Warren and I don't really have titles. It's like co-founder. That's the easiest thing to do now.
Albert, I got to tell you, man, I've been coming here, and I told this to Warren last year, to Marnie, since the beginning. I mean, when there were like 4 teams or 6 teams.
6 teams, yeah.
And my kids were little, and they'd be running around. There was nothing on the concession, on the concourse. And look what it's become, man. It's incredible what you guys have done. So just give me a little bit of timeline on how this all came to be, that all 30 teams now are here in this fully sanctioned NBA Summer League.
Well, first of all, appreciate you being here, Andy. You've
Thank
been
you.
A staple around the NBA for a few years. Yeah. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But no, it's guys like yourself who've seen it all. You know, they know the work that goes into something like this behind the scenes and how you develop it and dealing with the league. Right. Yeah. That's always a challenge in itself.
Yep.
But look, it's taken a village. We have some great people. That's probably our legacy when it's all said and done, are just the people that have come through and either helped working in our intern program, our SBC program, friends and family. But everybody's helped grow it. And, I think what we've done is kind of each year evolve in an area that we know we can manage. Try not to get out over our skis too much, right? And but we never want to undersell what we're capable of. So let's say we throw 10 things on the wall and 6 of them stick, and it's like, okay, now let's build a team for those 6. And that's been a pretty good recipe for us.
So all of a sudden, it just became this thing, and it's now the place to be to watch NBA basketball here in Las Vegas in the summer, which who would have thought, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But how did first of all, how did the partnership with Warren develop, and then how did you guys convince the NBA that this needed to happen?
Well, Warren, I worked for the Sonics back in the 90s, 93 to 98.
Did I know that?
I don't think so.
I don't think I knew that.
So. Yeah, so
Okay.
That's how I got my feet wet. I started as an intern. Started selling tickets at night.
Did not know that.
Had like 7 jobs at once.
You and Rick Welch are cut from the same cloth.
Well, he's a much bigger deal than me.
Well,
though.
but it has to start somewhere. Yeah.
No, but look, we did the same thing, and I just chipped away at it. Warren and I developed a really good relationship. George said, "Hey, go." I became George Karl's right-hand guy, and he's like, "Go pick up my agent one day from the airport." That's all he told me.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Looks like a surfer dude." So I find Warren coming down the escalator.
Yeah.
We hit it off, and that summer, like maybe the first summer I'd met him, he's like, "Hey, why don't we meet up in Long Beach, with the old Summer League?" Great. So I lived down in Southern Cal, and I would drive. I moved from Seattle after the Sonics left. I moved down to Southern Cal, so we would go meet there and have dinners, but we said, God, this could be so much better.
It was at the Pyramid, right?
And
it was a little schlocky.
It was ragtag. You weren't sure who was going to show up. The games were never on time.
I remember.
And we're just like, look, let's do this. And so Warren's like, look, I think I got a shot at Stern. And we're like, let's go. And sure enough, he got 20 minutes with him. And he's like, all right, we'll give you guys a shot, thinking that we wouldn't really pull it off.
In Long Beach?
No, this was here.
Oh, that was here then?
In 04.
Got it. Okay.
And so we had like 35 days. And he's like, I said, hey, Warren, you do the basketball side, I'll do the business side.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And we pulled it off. Literally put a size 17 shoe in a box with one of the hotels and said, we're just trying to get our foot in the door, man. And they all thought it was fake basketball, right? But we had Dwight Howard and Rondo
and the hotels need business in the summer. Obviously,
there was no one here in July.
Exactly.
We're a victim of our own success now. It's full. The rates are extremely high. But no, that was the evolution of this thing, and we hit the streets and really built it up. And then the next year there was a potential lockout, but we were able to get a moratorium. Did that, and then we went from 6 to 12 to 18 to 24 to 30. And so eventually, by the time we were at like 18 teams, the 12 that weren't here were like, man, you guys are getting all the coverage.
It reminds me of baseball a little bit. You know, all the teams trained in Florida, way back in the day. Then a couple of teams said, we're going to go try out Arizona. I think it was like 2, maybe 4 teams.
Right.
And now, of course, the Dodgers of all the teams that lived and breathed in Vero Beach. They moved and built a beautiful facility in Camelback in Phoenix. And, it just reminds me of that story that it was an opportunity. There are people like yourself and Warren who can really kind of see the vision. I mean, I don't know if you saw this vision because this is like off the chart vision, but it's pretty amazing what it evolved to.
Yeah, and again, if you don't have vision, we teach our kids there. Don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. I mean, look, you're only going to do so much if you don't. And if you swing and miss, big deal.
Yeah.
Like, as long as it's not destroying you, you can dust yourself off and get back on your feet. And we did that every year. We do that now. I mean, we challenge our incumbency. That's what we say all the time, right?
Yeah, I love it.
I got that from Ronnie Lott.
That's a good one.
He's a good friend.
That's
right?
a good
He's
one.
like, you have to do that. And I'm like, we have to do that all the time.
I got to write that down.
Yeah. And so, I mean, but it's true. We live by that. We challenge our staff who've been here. We have people that have been with us all 20 years, all 21 years.
Yeah.
But we have people it's still their first year, and they're learning from each other. So it's a good rule to live by.
So there's a couple of peripheral events that are going on concurrently with the basketball, which is going on behind us. Talk about the all the interns and the kids I see running around. Not kids, but college people. What's going on with that?
So when we first started, we were like, hey, we need some staff, right? And so my very first intern was Dennis Rogers, who's now head of communications for the Clippers.
What about really good friends?
Yeah, great guy. But it was like we knew this was a great proving ground for them as well. So our intern program is a big part of it. We have 140 interns, which started with 5 or 6. Ben Tenzer, who's just now the GM of Denver. He was one of the 6.
Crazy. But I mean, I personally know at least, I'm looking at 2 of them right now. And behind the scenes, I mean, 5 or 6 that are the offspring
kids
of dear friends of mine.
It's great. Yeah, that's become a cool part of this whole thing. And Adam's got his nephews
that's
in here
crazy,
and stuff. And then we started Sports Business Classroom, which is really teaching, the business of basketball. Because no matter what, it's great to be a fan, but there's a lot of aspiring young kids that are super talented that you need to have an avenue to get in.
Absolutely.
And that's really what we've done with both our internship and SBC. So now we're 10 years into that, and
wow, I didn't realize that.
144 kids. We've got a ton of people employed out of that program. So really, that network has become extremely powerful. And we're on the cutting edge. We're trying to figure out where the jobs are, what's next, and then the evolution of between salary cap, scouting, video analytics, and TV broadcast. Now we have film.
Yeah,
right?
I know. I was going to talk about that. So right next to us is the first year or the second year?
It's really our first year
of the Summer Film Festival.
We planted a flag last year because I don't know if you saw it. It's on NBA TV at like 3 in the morning. Sometimes it's our 20th anniversary.
I didn't see it.
I need to watch it. It was pretty good. I mean, for an hour, trying to fit 20 years in an hour is tough, as you know.
Yeah.
But it turned out pretty nice, and so we were like, look, we need a place to showcase this. We had a couple other projects. The Tony Allen project was in development, so we planted a flag, but this is the first year we did it. Obviously, with all the shoulder programming that's needed now with the NBA, NBC, Amazon, all that good stuff, which will be Amazon next year. We wanted to showcase some of these stories. I mean, NFL Films does a great job, Disables and what they've done, so it's kind of like, these guys are producing now, they're directing, they're starring. It's like, help showcase their works. And more importantly, they don't really have any way of getting it out there.
Yeah, the vehicle
We're
is
all
out there.
teaching each other. Because it's like, I don't know that business, but I have Deion Taylor and Hidden Empire who are very good at it. Archie and David from Unrealistic and Mark Wahlberg's partners. We've got Snoop, part of this last film, The Kings of Vegas. So, look, those guys know how to move the needle in that space.
Yeah.
So let's bring them in, make them a part of it, you know, because Morton and I we only box out when we have to. Most of the time we're like, come on in. So
I like it.
It's been cool. And the lineup, we had 85 films come out.
Incredible, man.
We trimmed it down to 34. Today's the final day. So.
Yeah, we saw a few of them. The Nate Robinson one really struck me. His story, of course, but it was so well done, and it was amazing.
I think we had a buyer for that one.
That's great.
Yeah, so
it should be
cool. These
the world needs to see that.
Need to live somewhere.
Yeah, that's great. Good for you for doing that, Albert. So, what comes next, by the way? What's like the next? I don't even know if there is a next level of Summer League.
Well, I think from a first and foremost, we never lose sight of the basketball. That's always our first blood.
Yes.
You know, we have to maintain that, the health of that, which, you know, there's not much we can do when these players sit out, but the reality is they need to be playing, in my opinion, you know, at least 3 games, you know. So we're working on that. We're trying to bring in, like, next year's draft and get involved early.
Interesting.
So that could be
like a pre-draft.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, draft preview.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so we're trying to do that from the basketball side.
Yeah.
And then from the ancillary piece, you know, music and fashion are they go hand in hand with what we do here.
That's an interesting idea. How about a fashion show, a runway thing?
We have that. You know, we did a kids' fashion show this year.
I didn't know that.
But we had something lined up, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And we haven't addressed it since.
Yeah.
So there's already talks of picking that up next year.
You know, Russell Westbrook might be the guy to talk to about
doubt.
that, because he's on the cutting edge of all of that stuff.
All of that.
So great. Albert, man, so great to connect with you. We've known each other
for a long time.
A long time. But the success of Summer League, you know, it like warms my heart, because I do remember specifically like being on the court and wondering where the hell my kids were, because nobody was watching them.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be saying
and
that publicly.
Running around, yeah.
But it was kind of like a cavernous, empty situation. You come in here for games, especially in the evening, and especially when the big names, you know, the top draft picks are playing, you can't get a ticket here.
Oh, it's electric. It almost feels like a prize fight those first couple of days.
It's amazing.
It's great.
Yeah, it's so great to see these guys launch their career. For the first time, they're playing professionally in that uniform. You know, Wemby and Bronny James and Cooper Flagg and all these guys. It's amazing. Yeah.
No, you get it. You get it, Andy. And everything you've done for the game, man. We talked yesterday about some projects, but I've been a fan forever.
Thank you.
What you've done to kind of cultivate that, as you're the same thing. You're part of the fabric of the league now.
Yeah.
Summer League's become that.
Yeah.
NBA Photos has been that for a long time.
Yes.
And you know, Amadi's got his rookie photo shoot going here and stuff like that. So kudos to you too, brother.
Well, one last thing. You know, we should try to think about incorporating visual storytelling, photography, video, into what you're doing with the internship program, right? What do you call it? The summer business. It's the sports
SBC, Sports Business Classroom.
You know, getting old. Sports Business Classroom, because myself, Nat, will be happy to contribute whatever we can. But next year we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of NBA Photos.
There you
go.
go.
There's no better way to get that out to the next generation.
You heard it here first, now. Next year at Summer League, we will have a tribute to the 40th anniversary
there we
of
go.
NBA Photos.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
Thanks, Albert.
All right. Thanks, man. Take care, buddy.
Okay, bud. Thank you.
Well, big thanks to Albert Hall for a great conversation during NBA Summer League. Plan ahead now, folks, for Summer League 2026 next July in Las Vegas. It's really a lot of fun, and you get to see some terrific young NBA talent make their professional debut. Plus, the Summer League Film Festival and now some other plans are in the works for 2026, so mark your calendars and be there. Thanks, everyone, for joining us for the start of Season 8. We are thankful to all our loyal followers. Please tell all your friends to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Legends of Sport, and our Instagram at Legends of Sport. And, of course, my photography can be found on Instagram at ADB Photo Inc. Thanks, as always, to our producer, Carlin Barker, and our editors, Sean Gosser and Addison Shao. We'll be back next week with another great episode. See you then.